Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to be creating pages and posts. You are now looking at an article that has been written and formatted in Microsoft Word. And what we want to do now is we want to take that article that we've written and we want to place it or post it inside of our WordPress site. Now you can actually do the writing ahead of time in Microsoft Word or your favorite word processing software, and then you'll have a document that looks something like this. Now what we need to do before we start moving this content over to WordPress, we want to take out all of the code that might be in it. And the way that we do that is we're going to move all of this into a text document first. And all we'll need to do is we'll need to select all. We'll Control-C and copy it, and then we will cut and paste this content into a text document. So now we have our content into a text document. There is no more code involved. And so what we can do now is we can now copy all of this code. We can really just go and select it all and then copy it. We're going to come back to our WordPress document and we'll decide on whether or not we want to use a post or a page. So we're going to start by doing a post. So we're going to click Add New. And we're going to give our post a title. Now we actually copied that content in there already. So we're going to take this content. We're going to cut it and we're going to put the title here. Now the WordPress editor works for the most part like any other editor. We can take out some of the space. And then we have some reasonable confidence that our article is going to appear in this way. Now there are some other things that we can do with this content before we finalize it. And in order to do that, we want to go over to the visual editor. And in order to go over to the visual editor, we're just going to click this link. And we'll get a sense for how our article is actually going to look. Now, one of the things that we can do in order to keep our content uniform when we post anytime inside of our WordPress document is to work with things like subtitles. And we can do that by highlighting the subtitle and making the change in this area. We can typically use one of the headings. We make it easy to be consistent in our posts. So in this particular case, we're going to change this to heading 4. We're going to change all of the subtitles to heading 4. Now in some cases when we are doing a post, we are going to want to hyperlink some of the content in it. And in order to do that in WordPress, it is very easy to do. All we'll need to do is to go and highlight the actual content that we want to hyperlink. Then we'll click the link. And then we'll place the URL to the clickable link that we want it to be. And we'll click the arrow. And we can do that for any of the content throughout our document. Now, one other important thing that we can do with this content is that we can actually place an image inside of the text. And we can do that by placing the cursor where we want the image to be. And then we can then click Add Medium because we're literally going to insert an image. Now, if we didn't have the image that we wanted to insert, we would click Upload Files. And then we're going to find a file on our hard drive. Okay, once we have the file in our hard drive, we'll import it into our document. And what you're going to notice is that this photo doesn't quite look the way we would want it to look. And so we can actually go in and change some of these settings. And we can do so that our text will actually align with our image. And we can actually have it aligned to the left. And we can update it. And then our text will wrap around that image as well as the title. And then once we have completed the post, all we would have to do is click Publish. Once we've done that, then we can actually go and review our post, and our content is in place along with our widgets. Now, one of the things that you'll notice is that this post was placed in our Team Victory category. Now, what we can do is when we start to come up with new posts and new categories for our team, we can actually then start to place new information here. And we can create a new category by writing it in, actually inside of our post. So we can create a category that's called Events, and then all we'll need to do is to click Add New Category. Once we do that, then we can take this out, and then we're going to click Update for our post. Now, one thing that you'll notice right away is that our URL has changed, and our URL now reflects the fact that this post is now in the Events category. And this is what you'll want to do as you post. You want to make sure that you are putting your post into the right category, or at least the ones that you desire to have them in. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to be discussing changing the theme. You are now looking at your WordPress dashboard, and we have been using one particular theme. And so as we go back to the appearance area and go to the themes section, you're going to notice that WordPress comes installed with 3 different kinds of theming elements. Now, there are a couple of things that you can do. You can actually go and look for other themes, and you can do that by going to click the Add New button. And WordPress will give you some options as to other themes that you can add to WordPress. Now, these themes are actually going to be free to you, and they may indeed require some, but for the most part, you'll be able to get these themes and use them as part of your marketing efforts if you're willing to make some changes. And as you progress, you can actually go and purchase a theme that is closer to what you want. But as you just get started, you will be able to pick from these themes and implement them into your WordPress website. So in this particular case, let's use one of these themes. And all we'll need to do is to click the Install button. We can preview the site and see what it's going to look like. We can leave it. That'll take us back to the theming area, and we can try another one. And we can install, and then we can preview, and we can see if we like it or not. If we like it, we can choose to activate it. Now you'll notice now that our 2017 theme is no longer active, but this is our theme now. So if we go to our front page, our site's going to look different. Now what we can do is we can actually go back and we can change our theme back to the way that it was. And we do that by going back to our theme and then reactivating the theme that was there. Now, in order to find other WordPress themes, what we can do is you can do a Google search, and you can actually just type in WP or WordPress theme, and you'll have some alternatives that you can look through. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to be discussing automating marketing processes in WordPress. You're now looking at the Add Plugins section of WordPress, where we're going to discuss a more advanced feature of WordPress and being able to add in not only plugins that will change the functionality, but also plugins that will increase your automation over services that you're using in conjunction with WordPress. So for example, in the very same way that we did a search for different functionality, we can actually search for some of the services that we use in order to integrate them into WordPress. So for example, if we were to start with a keyword of Aweber, we would find that there are a number of developers with highly rated plugins that use Aweber and integrate it into our WordPress site. A number of marketers use services like GoToWebinar. GoToWebinar also has plugin functionality that automates some of the processes inside of WordPress. Some marketers use the service IFTTT, or if this then that, and there are a number of plugins that will integrate some of that functionality into, again, your WordPress site. The same is true for GetResponse and for ClickFunnels. You'll find processes for Amazon, for eBay, and for Google AdSense. So as you begin to use services on your WordPress blog, one of the things that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to check to find out if there's an integration plugin that will help you to be able to enact some of these things faster and more efficiently. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about setting up your support and contact forms. Typically within the WordPress theme that comes with your site, you will notice that WordPress will suggest that in order to have contact with your customers, in this case this would be your team members, you would need to try to find a plugin to add a contact form. And basically that would give you the kind of contact form someone could fill it in and you'd get an email notification. And you'll see a number of plugins available for contact forms to actually add to your WordPress site. One thing WordPress does not do by default is give you an option in terms of being able to set up the emails that WordPress sends out on your behalf, typically to your team members or your customers or whoever will be coming to your site or getting an email. Now, this has a downside for a couple of reasons. It's quite possible that you will not receive an email from WordPress, and this is because sometimes an internet service provider will literally block the emails coming out of WordPress coming from your server. And this would be the same thing that would be happening to your downline or whoever would be coming to your site to get vital information for you at a particular time. There are workarounds, and there are companies like SendGrid that will allow you to connect their server to your WordPress site so that your emails from WordPress will get delivered to your customers. However, this is not 100% foolproof. But there is a way around this in that you can set up a cloud-based support system. There are a number available. One such system is called Zendesk. When you link with Zendesk, what will happen is your downline or whoever is coming to you for information, they'll be able to submit a request and put in their email address here, and then your team member would just hit submit. Almost immediately, they would get acknowledgement from your help desk. You would be able to acknowledge almost immediately, and your team member would get instant acknowledgement. Now, the question will be, how will you be able to easily get this site connected to your WordPress website? Now, for the case of many of the support systems that we are talking about, you can add in integration into WordPress. Zendesk is just one of them. As you can see, there are lots of integrations for Zendesk. And what you want to keep in mind is that your fast reply will typically be helpful to your downline, especially when they need information, and in some cases when you have new prospects who want to talk to you to enter into your business. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about using WordPress as a sales tool. Now, whether or not you use it in conjunction with your network marketing business, or you are selling products for your team or selling products for your prospects, you are going to want to be able to create attractive sales pages and to be able to do them from your WordPress website. And this is where you are probably going to have to either purchase a plugin or purchase a theme that will help you to be able to do that. And you can do that so that you can either add it on to your WordPress website, or you can have a theme that will actually be that will take over the entire look of your site. One system that a number of network marketers rely on is called OptimizePress. Now, while there are many systems that will give you sales pages, OptimizePress is a theme that will allow you to build business pages, whether it's for your front page or for things that you want to sell and offer to your customers. Once OptimizePress is installed inside of your WordPress website, you have a separate OptimizePress dashboard, and you start the process by creating a new page. Optimize Press gives you several templates in order to start with. They give you landing pages, which are templates, thank you pages, sales pages, webinar pages, membership pages, launch pages, and FAQ pages. And basically, these templates are going to be starter templates that you can use in order to build business pages. The other thing that Optimize Press does is build into it the email functionality that we have been talking about in other videos, as well as integrations for Google Analytics. And basically, everything that you do inside of Optimize Press will be a page that you will have created. And these pages are going to be used to either market your brand or sell a product or service. And as you can see, some of the templates can be used for the front page of your website. So in a template-based WordPress system, you would select a particular template, and the system would operate within WordPress. You will then be able to add in videos, as well as everything using a point and click and drag and drop interface. Everything within themes like Optimize Press are going to be fairly easy to customize, but also give you the ability to create attractive pages. So if it is your desire to create easy to use sales and marketing pages, you will want to consider thinking of getting some kind of page builder system. Now, obviously, the page builder system is not going to make sales for you, and it's not going to recruit people into your business. But what it will do is it will free up your time and help you to create something attractive for people to see and for you to focus your attention on marketing your business. So with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now in this video, what we are going to do is we are going to install WordPress on our hosting and domain. Now in some cases, when you purchase hosting, you are going to find that there are companies that will give you hosting that is specifically made for WordPress. And so the process is going to be very easy to get your site installed. And in other cases, you're going to have a more traditional situation. And you're going to get access to something called a control panel or cPanel. But when you have WordPress hosting, it's pretty much going to be as simple as going into your site and then getting into the buttons or the wizard that the company gives you. But it's quite possible that you could have a more traditional situation and you will need to go into the control panel. And that's what we're going to do right now, since that's the more difficult of the two. We are now inside of our hosting control panel, and what we're going to do is we're going to go to an area called Fantastico. And we're going inside of Fantastico because that's where the one-step install is going to be for WordPress. Once we're inside of Fantastico, we're going to find the section for blogs, and we're going to open it up. Then we're going to find the section for WordPress, and we're going to go to that link. What we're going to do is we're going to click this button that says install a new copy, and when it says 4.6 it means WordPress. We're going to go ahead and click that button. Now when we get inside, what we're going to have to do is choose a directory. Now we can choose to put it in the root directory. In other words, we want the WordPress site to take up one entire domain. And so we would then leave this space blank. If we're going to have yourdomain.com and that whole domain is going to be taken by the WordPress site, we're going to leave this blank. But if we want to put WordPress in a subdirectory, we can do that. And in this particular case, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to put in a subdirectory name to actually put our WordPress site in. Right, so we're going to write in test directory because that's the directory where we're going to put our WordPress site, and that's where we're going to be working with it. Now you're going to need to give yourself an administrative name, a password, an email, and this email is going to be the place where WordPress will send all of the email concerning your site. And we're going to give our site a title, and of course you don't have to worry if you don't know what you want to title your website, you'll be able to change it later, and we'll talk about that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, write this information in, and then we're going to click submit. Okay, so Fantastico will give you the information. Now the password here is blurred out. What you're going to do then is you're going to visit your website. You can do that by going to this link under the back end. That's going to take you where you can actually log into your website and start working on it. Okay, you're going to put in your username and password, and then you're going to click login. And once you've done that, then you have installed your WordPress site on your domain or wherever it is that you are going to want to use it for your network marketing business. Now, in the next video, we'll start by talking about the things that you'll need to do to turn your site into your home base for your brand. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.